Yeah, I hadn't put out any videos in a while because, like I said, I don't like the center of attention. The fact is, I only do this when I feel inspired to. I don't just pump out videos. Because what's the point of pumping out videos if they don't ain't gonna do anything for anybody? You have to understand, when I make these videos, they're there for you to feel inspired. That's what the point of these videos are. It's for you to be inspired, to actually take action and do something. But this is a message to all those out there, particularly to all the manifestors out there. This isn't, I mean, people, this message is not for people out there who are like trapped in the left brain, who are stuck in the 3D mindset and stuck in the 5 sense mindset. Because there's a lot of people who are still waking up, or people who think they're awake, but they're still like invested in the 3D. And you think that's all you see right now. I mean, this message is to the manifestors out there. And this is something I personally learned over the last few years. Despite what you see right now, despite what you see in the world, you think it's the end? You think this is over? Okay, ask yourself this question. It doesn't. Why do you think that adds up? It doesn't make sense, because if this is really over, there's a lot of these truth tellers out there. A lot of these people out there who are very powerful manifestors. Those who are good at holding light. All those people out there. All those people out there. Ask this simple question. Why is it that a lot of these people are still alive and well? Why are they still out there doing what they're doing? If you really think this is over, what you see out there is actually nothing more than smoke and mirrors right now. That's what I'm trying to tell you people out there. It's smoke and mirrors. I'm not really paying much attention to what's going on in the media. I'm not even watching the news or anything. Or, I mean, and you need to watch out for a lot of the alternative news out there, because it's hardly that much different. You know? I mean, what I'm trying to say is that I'm not telling you to ignore reality. I'm telling you to actually ignore the beings, the forces, the dark forces out there that are trying to put you in a fear state, in a fear vibration. Because to all the intuitive people out there, and to many other people out there, you need to start going within. Go within, as in meditate, to sit down quiet in a quiet space, and just follow your heart, your intuition, as in go with what you feel in your heart, not in your ego mind. You know, maybe you have an issue distinguishing between the difference between the mind and the ego. Maybe you're that kind of person. I'm not sure, but if you do, you need to do something about that quickly and immediately. But besides that, you need to ask yourself something. I mean, ask yourself, does this all add up? I mean, all you see right now is this fear. All of it, it's like it's smoke and mirrors type fear. What you need to do is you need to start thinking about what you do want. You need to start manifesting. It's time to start manifesting what you want. And by putting your thoughts and your energy into that. Stop putting your thoughts and energy into what's currently going on right now. Because that's the illusion. That's another world. That's another reality they want you to suck yourself into. And I need to ask you another question to all those other people out there who are listening. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. You think look, you are still where you are right now. You're still doing what you got to do, right? So why are you getting? There's no need to get scared of anything. You need to actually start manifesting what you want. Because if the dark forces really have won, we would not be having this conversation right now. It'll be done. Because why do you think? What's up with all this slow drag crap? This slog crap, huh? I mean, come on. It's not what you think it is. And I feel like that to many who are watching this video, they're not going to understand this, particularly those who are stuck in the 3D and are convinced that what they see in the 3D is the end. This is it. Which doesn't add up to me. And I'm not going to get into the details of why, because YouTube censorship and all that crap, and the fact that it depends on what you're thinking about right now. I mean, I'm not going to get deep into those issues, but I feel like a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world is happening for a reason too. Is to help wake up the fools and idiots out there that haven't woke up yet. It's pretty much a slap to their face. You're wondering why the will of creation is allowing this at the moment? Let me tell you something why. I strongly feel is to actually get more and more people on board before we have this shift, this flip, this what I call the flip. I don't really like calling it the shift, because the world isn't going to be paradise overnight, but it's going to be like there's going to be a change. And I feel like that change is coming sooner than you think. It's not going to be in the next hundreds of years or something, but something is not going to be held. I don't think it's going to be in a few years. It's going to happen way sooner than you think. Right now, in the non-physical, I think strongly believe there's a lot of stuff going on. And that's the reason why you're seeing all this in the 3D. It's a manifestation of that. But I have to say is to those out there who have the ability to use your intuition and tap into the non-physical aspects of this reality. And when you do it, don't do it in fear. That's the thing about it. Don't do it in fear. I feel like a lot of this is happening it's like I get this strong feeling that it's happening for a reason, a lot of this stuff. I think a lot of it is to wake more people up, more than ever, because we're at a point where we're actually at a threshold. We reach a threshold. And before the flip happens, they need to get as many people on board as possible. Because when this flip happens, I strongly believe the world's going to change. For real this time, too. And keep in mind this change is going to happen over a span of years. It's not going to be overnight. It's not going to wake up the next morning and it's paradise. No. It's going to take a while. Well, what I'm trying to say is to the manifestors out there, think about what you want. For example, if you're sick, don't think about, oh, I'm fighting this disease. I'm fighting it for it to go away. No. This is how you do it. You think about feeling good. Think about being in good health. You're this feeling of good health. Picturing yourself with good health. Putting emotions into it. And see, when you manifest, the secret ingredient to manifestation, let me tell you something, is emotion. That's the thing about that. Does that sound familiar to you? That's the reason why all this negative fear crap is going on. It's a double-edged sword to the fear. The fear is like, on the other hand, is to make you create this false reality, a positive negative reality, but at the same time, the fear of what's going on in the world, at the same time, is forcing many people to wake up to what's going on. I feel like the fear is a double-edged sword at the moment, And I don't expect a lot of people to understand this. I think a lot of people might misinterpret this video, but that's fine, because to those who don't understand it, this video is not for you. You shouldn't be watching it, Especially those who are still left-brained and are still invested in the 3D, and they're like, but they said this on the news, or that's happened, blah, blah, blah. Or this guy's going to do this. And don't you notice a lot of we're going tos and we're going tos and this and that and other? I feel like it's all a bunch of threats at this point. Because if we were going down let me tell you something. I feel like how should I put this? If we really, like I said, if we were screwed, if we were done, this will be way worse. And not only that, a lot of us would not be here. That's something else to think about, We would not be here by now. Because why we're still here? Why we're still here? Think about that. This fight is far from over. And I don't believe we're losing at all. I feel like things are playing out the way they are playing out for a reason. It's as twisted as it sounds. It's like I said, but at the same time, I think it's also to inspire a lot of you people out there into actually tapping into the best versions of yourselves. To go out there and do something. You don't necessarily means you need to be an activist. It just means, or whatever you need to be, or whatever your calling is. Because that's going to vary individual to individual. That's what I'm trying to say. It's going to vary individual to individual what you need to be doing right now. But the most important thing to be doing, especially to the manifestors out there, is to think about what you want in this world. Think about the kind of world that you want. And you need to do it more than ever. This is not no game anymore. This is the practice round is over. This is the real live thing. You need to start thinking about the world that you want. I remember back in 2020, I thought like it looks real bad. It looks like we are going to probably maybe be screwed. But I said to myself, no way. Because the divine will never, ever, ever just leave us abandoned. You really think that the divine will is going to truly ever abandon us? Yeah, at times, throughout history, it felt like the divine will has forsaken all of us. But I feel like, I'll put it this way. Remember back in 2020, think about this for a minute. Remember back in 2020, how bad it seemed? And they talked about how in October there's going to be, there's going to be a second wave, and it's going to be worse, and it's going to actually result in this and that and other to happen. Remember that? But in October, really nothing happened. Think about that. What I'm trying to say is that the divine will never ever let the dark forces fully take control of this reality. And we're on the verge of a flip. I strongly believe we're on this verge of a flipping point. And if you want to help manifest that flipping point, we need as many manifestors on board as possible thinking about the world we want. Turn off the news, turn off even the alternative media. You know? I mean, if you need someone to actually, I guess if you need somebody to follow or something, I guess you got to find people out there who are holding light or holding out hope too. I don't know. That's my suggestion. If you need someone to talk to about what's going on, and but you just need to look for people out there that are actually look at this from a positive perspective, not in a new agey, but not in that new agey. There's no such thing as negative evil type way, but as in yes, there's dark and evil, but at the same time, we got the light. We are the hope. That's the thing about it. We are the hope. You know, people. I think the biggest problem is that this is one thing I've also learned in my personal life. And this lesson is manifested to everybody around the world right now who are seeing this. The fact is you cannot go through your life expecting the external world to do things for you. You have to actually be the change yourself. You know, you ask, how to do that? Like I said, this is why going within and asking yourself intuitively that question, having an answer pop up in some way is important for you. I've learned in life that you can't actually base your happiness on what you see out in the external world. I spent more than a decade of my life trying to do this, and it led to so much misery and depression. That's what happened, you know. It led to so much misery, so much depression. It was like my 20s were the worst time of my life. For a lot of people, it's a great time because a lot of people actually spend their 20s fooling around, you know. Well, I was already starting to question reality in my 20s. I was already starting to ask the questions. I was starting to call out the absurdity of modern life, the absurdity of the fact that everybody has to spend most of their lives actually doing some kind of work like that takes up the most of their life, where you don't get much time off. Like, what the hell's 2 days? It's worse for some people. Some people only get 1 day off. But I was already calling all that stuff out. I was already calling out the absurdity of the modern world when I was that young, which has led to a lot of anger and frustration and hopelessness and a lot of crazy stuff. But I have actually realized that, you know what helped me actually get through all that? I have actually came to a point where I had to stop thinking about the external world so much. Stop thinking about how the external world is to the point where I'm basing my happiness based on what I see in the external world. I need to base my happiness based on what's going on within myself, based on what I can do for myself, you know, and making the best of what I can do for myself. Ask yourself, what can you do right now intuitively to make this better, to make the world, to manifest the world you want to see, whether it be out there or within yourself or both. You need to start asking that question. And this is to the manifestors out there, not to the people out there who don't get it. Because to those who don't get it, yeah, you're not going to get it. And it's not geared towards you because you literally are not. It's like one of those things you have to just understand. If you just don't understand, you don't understand. Because I can't really explain it in words. I'm not good at explaining things in words as it is, as you see in my previous videos. And I think a lot of the problems with my previous videos is the fact that I think I used to have this problem that I used to speak so fast because I always feel panicky or tense all the time, and I'm learning to overcome that. That's like one of the things that I actually have to learn how to overcome too. And like I said, it's a manifestation of what I've been through in my 20s. You know, it's a manifestation of the crap I've been through in my teenage years when it comes to dealing with people, and especially the crap I've been through in my 20s emotionally. That's why I became so tense. That's one of the main reasons why I become so tense, because of the crap I've been through in my 20s. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that decade ended, and it's like the worst decade in my life. I don't want to revisit it. But besides the point is, I have learned to actually become calmer when I speak in my videos, to just not try to rush through my words. And I think it's because of the fear. It's the fear of me not thinking of losing track of what I'm about to say. But enough about me, because this video is not about me. It's about you and those who are watching. To those who are watching, I don't know how many. I don't know how many, I don't know who this is going to reach, but I think it's vital for any people to share this. You know, it's vital to share this because this is not about me. This is not about my channel. Because when I put these videos out, I'm not doing this to create a following. I'm not doing this to become popular. I'm just doing it because people need to take this message, integrate it within themselves, and they start talking to other people about it. You know, and you don't have to you don't have to mention me by name or anything. Just say that I really think that blah blah blah, or I have this idea or whatever. You know, you don't have to give credit to me. I mean, this is not about me. This never was about me. This is about you in the world around you. Because if you're going to change, if the world's to change, we need to start thinking differently. Because what do you have to lose? Think about it. What do you have to lose by actually thinking differently? By wanting to manifest things or try to do things differently? Think about those questions. Anyways, I hope that's what you need. I mean, I hope that's it. I hope this will help you and help everybody, because right now, this is very important. Think about what you do want. You want a new world, right? I understand that it's rough for a lot of people out there, especially financially, especially if they live in a place where there is really bad lockdowns going on. I understand that it can be bad for a lot of people out there, but use that all this negative stuff that's going on right now. This is a time period where you actually have to ask yourself, what can I do? What do I need to be doing right now that's going to help my life and probably help others, or maybe just help yourself if you need to help yourself right now, because a lot of people out there need help themselves. You know, take this time to actually say to yourself, what do I need to do? And ask yourself intuitively. And just quietly just reflect and meditate on that question. What do I need to do? You might not get an answer immediately. The answer will probably manifest itself eventually, because that's how it happens with me. Like, I have to actually let something pop into my reality that will show me what I need to do. Just remember one more thing, that you cannot manifest things based on what you don't want, because you're going to get more of that. And I've seen that in my reality already. I end up getting more because I'm dwelling too much on what I don't want instead of dwelling on what I do want. You know? Because I know if I dwell too much on what I don't want, I get more of it. Or I get a resistance or pushback by this, because I'll messed up this reality is. And one more thing. You cannot derive your happiness based on what you see out there in the world, because you're going to be a very unhappy person. You have to actually get your happiness based on what you can do for yourself and what you're doing for others. You know, you cannot actually judge. I understand there's going to be days where you're going to slip up. There's going to be days where you're going to feel like crap. And because I cry those quite a lot. Because when you're out there in the 3D, I get it. It's real easy to get sucked into all this. It's real easy. So what I'm trying to say is, all you have to do is actually not try to base your happiness based on what you see out in the world. Just base your happiness on what you're doing for yourself and what you're doing for others. Those are the most important things I have to say right now. And hopefully, this will do some good. The reason why it's very important to do these things, because you cannot manifest positive things where you're in this fear vibration. See, that's why the dark forces for a long time have been bombarding you with all this negative stuff. It's a double-edged sword. They want you to be invested in all the negative, because you can't manifest positive things when you're in that fear vibration all the time. I'm not saying that you cannot be. You have to be positive all the time. That's impossible, especially in a world of duality. But because we all sink into that negative. We all sink into that low. But it's about coming out of it. One thing I've learned is the fact that you can't stay in it. You can't stay in that negative. You have to come out as quickly as you can. Because I come to realize that it's all emotional states. It's all just emotional states. I'm not sitting here and saying that you can't feel negative or feel negativity or feel bad, because you can't help it. You are a soul being. You can't help feel these emotions. You know, you're gonna have times when you sink into those times. It's a part of this. It's a part of this screwed up experience called life here in this reality. These negative things, you can't help but feel those things. But the key is not to dwell in it and to actually mire yourself in that misery all the time. You have to come out of it and actually snap out of it and actually try to hold that positive light. And I don't mean in that new agey way, like I said, where you ignore the negative or say, oh, we're not talking about the negative. No, no, no. It's about the fact that you need to transmute the negative into the positive. That's what I'm trying to say. So I hope this helps.